Discovery.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about UFOs and the royal family.
Hey.
Two things that you love, Gaz.
Yeah. Love the royals. Because I'm a proper conservative British man.
Is the church going? Is it alright?
I haven't joined yet, but I'm going to, find God eventually.
Sat on the back of the sofa, I can tell you that much.
Can't believe you're making an anti-royalist talk about the royals.
Well, we're talking about them in an alien UFO kind of way.
Yeah, just soften the blow.
Because it's quite interesting when you find out that somebody like that is, one of us, Ben.
Yeah, that's true. He's a believer.
With a large collection of UFO-related books.
Yes, and subscriptions to magazines.
You would have been good friends and got along very well.
Well, apart from the
With
racism.
Prince Philip. Come on. Just because the mics are on.
I don't
Look,
condone.
think about it. All the battles and things you'd have been able to talk about.
Oh yeah, we'd have had a good old fucking war chat,
all
wouldn't
the
we?
military history and all
Yeah.
that. And they'd have been best buds, Mike. Anti-royal.
I probably would have got on with Prince Philip then.
Of course you would. You'd have been bestest buds. Chilling out together.
Yeah, could have played Risk.
Being rude to some ethnic minorities.
Still not really rude to ethnic minorities.
Busting around the servants.
No.
Hanging around at the palace.
Don't like
It's
servants.
been excellent. You don't like servants.
Don't like being waited on.
He says, you watch. Give it a couple of months into his new career, Mike.
Yeah.
He'll be demanding servants. I can't write my own emails. Are you mental?
Yeah.
Well, I am a dignitary now.
Oh, God. Shall we thank some new and returning listeners?
Yes, let's do that. Let's run through a few off the list. Brussels in Belgium, Council Bluffs in the US, Erlangen-Birkendorf in Germany, Miami in the US, Frankfurt in Germany, Bournemouth in the US, Saint Vlas, is that Lithuania? Bulgaria. Close enough.
It's not no.
Washington in the US, Chatham in the UK, Guadalajara, Spain, Ashburn in America, Etobicoke, I don't know how to say that, it's in Canada.
I don't know how they speak.
Etobicoke, I don't know, you're in Canada, you know you are. Columbus in the US, absolutely blitzed it this week. Well done, thank you very much.
A lot of new fans in Columbus apparently, or one big mega fan. What's in Columbus? What's Columbus famous for? What's the
Be
capital?
named after Columbus, I guess.
What state is Columbus in?
Ohio.
Oh, there's probably loads of
Oh, right,
Columbuses.
it's like some
there
lonely,
might be, yeah.
lonely pig farm there in the middle of nowhere.
No,
isn't
it's a capital city. It's a major sort of metropolitan city.
Oh, right,
It's
okay.
not. It's not in the
It's
Midwest.
not three shacks in a field.
It's not Idaho or Iowa or one of them.
Okay, but thank you anyway.
Yes, follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. YouTube is Apocalypse Bull. And SoundCloud and Spotify and all your other podcasting platforms. Cutting to the Bull in the PTA.
Sorry for that drawing. Mike's just brought up a drawing on the screen that has made me laugh. Is that
like a
from
cocktail
somebody's
glass.
official evidence of what they saw?
Yes. You know what? Still better than I could draw.
It looks like a UFO with a cocktail glass.
Fantastic. So, shall we get into it?
Let's start with Lord Mountbatten, who may or may not be a nonce.
Why'd you have to mention that? Because it's not been confirmed.
Well, the FBI destroyed the files at the royal family's request.
As you do.
And what did the files allegedly say?
That he was a rampant homosexual with a lust for young boys.
This episode's about aliens, not noncery. We're going to look past all the noncery just for one episode.
I'm just saying.
You didn't have to. It doesn't mention that in the fucking article. You've editorialised that.
Well, he was alright, then he was also a noted war hero. How's
There,
that?
you lead with that. That's better. Alleged nonce. The operative word's alleged.
It is. It is.
Don't give me that. There's no smoke without fire.
That's the way
That
the
is
British
not
legal
illegal
system
to-
works.
no, it doesn't.
That's the way the British justice system works.
Right, can we please start again in a respectful manner to Lord Mountbatten?
They don't deserve our respect.
The Right Honourable Lord Mountbatten of Burma.
Heathens.
The Right Honourable Lord Mountbatten of Burma
Better.
was a UFO enthusiast and even documented an alien spaceship landing on his estate. UFO expert Alessandro Rojas says the royal, also known as Prince Charles's honorary godfather, they were very close, weren't they, Mountbatten and Charles?
So who is he then? Who did you say? He's Prince Philip. He's Prince Philip's uncle.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, him and Charles. Charles, he was more of a dad to Charles than Philip probably was for a chunk of his life.
Philip was very busy. Philipping.
Someone's going to bang the Queen.
Busy eating
Several
babies'
times.
hearts, allegedly.
He had lots of, rare animals and ethnic minorities to shoot out in the courtyard.
Well, he may have done that. The word is allegedly.
Pull!
It's an Asian man on a little catapult.
He's fine.
He fires a crossbow in his slippers. It's bloody good to be king. I mean, it really bloody is, let's be honest.
Was he king? Or
No, he
Well,
was the Duke of Edinburgh's Prince Consort or King Consort, technically, I think.
Well, it sounds better than saying it's good to be the bloke who's hanging out the back of the Queen. So Lord Mountbatten was an actual, a proper high-up royal family member.
Oh yeah, he's in a circle,
Noncery aside, so he's a top geezer, so he doesn't want to embarrass himself by talking about spaceships and little green men.
Well, this is it, yeah.
And he's a military man.
He is. He was head of the Royal Navy at one point.
Well, that's quite... Right. Why did you start with that instead of... Jesus.
Well, sucking the people in.
It's not supposed to be... No, that's what got him in trouble. This isn't supposed to be a hit piece.
It's not.
Okay, I'm sorry. Calm down.
I've only said he was a nonce once.
Allegedly.
Alleged nonce once. I mentioned his war heroics twice at least.
Okay, thank you.
We won't mention it again.
Thank you. Unless it's funny.
Back in February 1955, Mountbatten, who was often referred to as Prince Charles's honorary godfather and mentor because of his close relationship with the Duke of Edinburgh, made an official report about a strange encounter his bricklayer Fred Briggs allegedly had with a flying saucer and an alien creature.
His bricklayer? Yeah. As if he's fucking talking to the bricklayer.
He is when he's talking about a fucking spaceship in the garden.
Well, he could shoot them aliens.
Yeah.
No one's ever
Didn't
shot
they
an
both
alien
see it?
before.
Didn't they both see it?
It had witnesses. I don't think Mountbatten saw it.
Right.
They did have witnesses. More than one person saw it. The report, which was uncovered after Mountbatten's 1979 death at the hands of the IRA, they blew up his boat.
Oh,
if you
yeah,
didn't know.
assassinated, yeah.
He was assassinated by the IRA. Quite a bold move by the IRA,
Who was
actually.
assassinated?
Mountbatten.
Yeah.
Why was he... Oh, by the IRA.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got confused then. I was thinking the RAF, and I was thinking, why did we do that for?
Well, he's a Navy man. The RAF don't like the Navy. I don't know.
I missed that part of history. Oh, they actually blew up a royal... What year was that, sorry?
79.
Bloody hell, I didn't know that. See, I'm shit at history, I know. I mean, that was a big fucking to-do, wasn't
It was a bit of a big deal, that one, to be fair, yeah.
Blew up his car, did they?
Blew up his boat.
Blew up his boat. Bloody hellfire. Well, or did they? Or was it...
No, they admit to it, I think.
Or did they?
Wow.
Or was it the Men in Black? Did they make them admit it?
Was it the FBI because he had children on that boat?
Did Mountbatten know too much?
Was it the aliens?
You know... but did we skip over the name of the bricklayer? Fred fucking Briggs.
Fred Briggs.
Now, if that's not a 1950s bricklayer's name, I'd never... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fred fucking Briggs.
I'll be your fucking
This fucking tall, right? 3.5 fucking foot tall, right? Big fucking green heads, mate. Fucking massive heads.
Well, it was uncovered. The report was uncovered after Mountbatten's 1979 death and describes how a silver spaceship landed in the grounds of his Broadlands estate in Romsey, Hampshire. The flying saucer hovered above the ground before a man dressed in overalls and a helmet descended from the bottom of the craft, according to the documents.
In overalls.
Bob the Builder.
What the fuck?
Fred was then reportedly knocked off his bike and held on the ground by an unseen force.
So, a man in a helmet and overalls suggests to me that this is a craft we've recovered, and some, MI5 whatever guys, scientists are out having a spin in it. Because I don't see alien greys as wearing overalls and helmets.
If you go back to the 50s when this happened, the idea of the aliens wearing because you didn't have the stereotypical greys at that point.
Right.
Greys didn't really come in until Betty and Barney. Aliens people were seeing had like spacesuits on.
But was that in like the popular science fiction of the time? Well, yeah, because they referred to it in Back to the Future. Yeah, when he's got the nuclear suit on, it looks like the covers of the novels of the time. They're like, fucking hell. But so this could be bullshit. I'm trying to treat it.
What
as if
reason
it's
has
real.
Fred Briggs got to lie?
I don't know. Was he paid well? Was he mistreated? He was pinned by an invisible. Is this his actual
Did he drink?
statement?
Did he smoke?
Well, these are valid points, but he's lying to a member of the royal family. Isn't that punishable by death?
Here we go. Look. This is his thing. I am at present employed at Broadlands as a bricklayer. I was cycling to my work from, what does that say, Ramsey, on the morning of Wednesday, the 23rd of February, 1955. When I was about halfway between that place, Palmerston or Ramsey Lodge, and the house, just where the drive forks off to the Middlebridge Lodge, I suddenly saw an object hovering stationary over the field between the end of the gardens and Middlebridge Drive, and just on the house side of the little stream. The object was shaped like a child's huge humming top, and halfway between 20 foot or 30 foot in diameter.
What's a humming top?
You know, like one of them press the spinning top type thing.
Yeah. It was a
Getting
dull aluminium. Time was just after 8:30 a.m.
Kitchen saucepan.
Colour like a kitchen saucepan. He turned off the drive, dismounted. While I was watching, a column at the thickness of a man descended from the centre of the saucer, and I suddenly noticed on it what appeared to be a man, presumably standing on a small platform on the end. He did not appear to be holding on to anything. He seemed to be dressed in a dark suit of overalls and was wearing a close-fitting hat or helmet.
So some sort of space crew's being beamed up or down. Perhaps they've just picked up a sheep or something. A farmyard animal, and they're on the way back up.
Or they've come to fix his shoddy bricklaying.
Possibly.
He's work
He's on
overalls.
fucking acid. I knew I should have left them fucking mushrooms alone.
I suddenly saw a curious light come on top of one of the portholes. It was a bluish light, rather than like a mercury vapour light. Though it was quite bright, it did not appear to be directed straight at me, nor did it dazzle me, but simultaneously with the light coming on, I suddenly seemed to be pushed over, and I fell down in the snow with my bicycle on top of me. What is more, I could not get up again. Although the bicycle only weighs a few pounds, it seems as though an unseen force was holding me down. Whilst lying on the ground, I could see the tube withdrawn quickly into the saucer, which then rose vertically quite fast as the fastest jet aircraft I have seen, or faster. No sound.
Just like the tic-tac.
So that's always a common
UFOs,
thing. There's no sound with these things.
And they move in an unnatural way that doesn't pertain to our laws of gravity.
Yeah.
Under their own propulsion.
There was no noise until the saucer started to move. And then even the noise was no louder than an ordinary small rocket let off by a child on Guy Fawkes night. It disappeared out of sight into the clouds almost instantaneously, and as it went, I found myself able to get up. Although I seemed to be lying a long time on the ground, I do not suppose humanity was more than a few seconds. It's definitely a strange encounter.
Totally.
Now,
I suppose if you are Lord Mountbatten and you're talking to the brick, you're having a...
yeah.
So I find it a little hard to believe.
Oh, go now. Bloody hell, here he comes. Hello, Fred. Yes. Oh, God, yeah. yes, it was a great game, wasn't it?
How were the children?
Yes. Still got all their teeth, have they? No? Oh dear.
And he tells you he's seen this on it. It's on Lord Mountbatten's grounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is Fred trying to ingratiate him? He loves all this alien shit.
Could be.
I know.
Do you think Fred's trying to suck up to the boss?
I know how to get in with him. Or distract him from that wall I fucked up.
Or maybe this caused Lord Mountbatten to have an interest in UFOs, because you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If this actually
And then,
happened on your land,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't think why.
And then if your nephew Philip, who's hanging out the back of the Queen, you know he's mad for it as well.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
Philip's gonna bloody love this. Philip, you wouldn't believe what happened to one of the little chaps in the garden. Pinned him to the fucking floor, it did. Come on over. They've probably got a special green phone or something, or red phone.
What do you think?
And they've got a special alien room where they talk about it and keep all their books.
Loads of red string attached to different parts of the wall.
Are we lizards or not? Was there any clues? Did he say anything about lizards? He did say fuck all, mate. Just pin me to the fucking floor. What's he got about the fucking lizards for? I have to know. That's how I like to picture it anyway. He's trying to find the secret of his own origins.
Assuming that they are lizards.
Of course they are. Why would Ike lie?
Ike?
Yeah, David Ike. He's the one who told me.
Yeah, but some bloke from the pub told him.
Well, it doesn't mean it's Chinese whispers.
It kind of does.
By definition.
Yeah. Some man in the pub told me.
Yeah. Ah well. So what's this bit now then?
This is Mountbatten's statement.
Oh.
He says that he followed up what Mr. Briggs said. Went to the site of follow the bicycle tracks in the snow.
Alright.
Yeah, because he said that the tracks indicate he fell over with the bike on top of him.
And that, oh Christ. Is it possible Mr. Briggs has just got so much pride he doesn't want anyone to know he fell off his bike?
He was walking with the bike at the time, so you'd see his footsteps,
Right.
the bike wheel,
Right.
and then you'd have a drag in the snow where you fall backwards when the bike comes on top of
The
you.
shape of a man with a bike on you.
Yeah.
He says that Mr. Briggs was still dazed when I first saw him and was worried that no one would believe his story. Indeed, he made a point of saying that he had never believed in flying saucer stories before and had been absolutely amazed at what he'd seen.
He didn't give the impression of being the sort of man who would be subject to hallucinations or in any ways invent such a story. I'm sure from the sincere way he gave his account that he himself is completely convinced of the truth of his own statement.
Well, he believes what he's telling me.
And he offered to swear an oath on the Bible if needed.
Well, I'm sure they live. Mountbatten's land is out in the middle of nowhere. The sort of middle of nowhere where you would go and test your flying saucer and try and steal cattle and the odd rambler.
Terrify a brickie.
Yeah.
UFOologist Alejandro, who runs UFO site Open Minds TV, told the Sun Online that Mountbatten was instrumental in developing the field of UFO investigations both in the UK and around the world. I think this story is incredibly important, he said. The Royals have had a history of being interested in the paranormal, but Mountbatten was very interested in UFOs and he was instrumental in the UFO subject being taken more seriously and popularised in the UK. Prior to some of the more credible books about UFOs being serialised in the UK, British people thought Americans were silly in their attention to UFOs. Bloody Yanks.
Very, very silly.
If this is 55, you're in the middle of the saucer flap at the time, aren't you? Everyone's seeing these fucking things. Yeah. You've got them flying over Washington in formation. They're sending up jet fighters to intercept them.
Good stuff.
So these things are,
Now, do you think we've reclaimed one at this point, or do you think we're still chasing them at this
Grush
point?
says that
1947.
Earlier than that. Grush says the first one was in the 20s in Italy.
So this is what I'm saying about it could be us testing them and using them in some of these cases.
But it's interesting that the royal family don't know about it then.
Right. Well, are they being kept out of it because they don't want them to know their lizard heritage? Also, all right, I'll leave the lizard thing alone. Let's say they're not lizards, right? Let's say Ike is a liar. Let's say it's normal reality. Just because they're the royal family doesn't mean you're going to let them in on all the secrets.
Need to know, innit?
Yeah, and they're probably really pisses them off that they can't.
But I'd imagine...
I'm the bloody hanging out the back of the bloody Queen. I can't remember my official title. Tell me about the aliens. Well, we can't. You're fucking nobody in that regard. Sorry. I'll fucking find out my fucking self then.
You'd think they'd have informants, wouldn't you?
Well, he started his own X-Files, basically, didn't he? Philip went full, like, fucking...
Yeah, he did, because of Mountbatten's influence.
I'm going to work this shit out.
And, I suppose you could, as Mountbatten and being head of the Navy at some point, your security clearance is probably still pretty high.
So maybe he did know some shit.
There's every chance that he could make an official request to Churchill, because it is Her Majesty's government. They kind of still have to do what the royal family wants. They work for them on behalf of them, don't they?
And don't you fucking forget it. Not my king. Yes,
I've never said that.
Is. Yes, he is.
Well, he is, sadly.
Like it or lump it.
There's nothing I can really do about it.
Get on
is.
your knees in front of sausage fingers, son.
No. No, I'm not doing that.
Get on your knees.
Not unless he's knighting me.
Bow to the sausage fingers.
Not unless he's knighting me. I'm not kneeling.
King of the sausage people.
But it's interesting that he's sort of going, well, come on, there's something to this then. Why aren't we looking at it? Yeah. And Churchill did write a memo saying, like, literally classified top secret, and it's been one of the ones that's been released because it was written in the 50s. It's like, what's all this about flying saucers? Let me know at your convenience, signed W.
I did hear, I don't know how true this is, but I'm paraphrasing, but apparently I heard on Joe Rogan that Trump has said something along the lines of, like, you don't want to fucking know. Trust me, you don't want to know.
Interesting.
Which leads me to believe it will be they want to protect the public from this knowledge because it will turn everything upon its head. I believe the truth is that we are seeded from something else.
Maybe they're literally just getting here. I mean, there's something...
We have an alien origin, I believe.
There's some message we received years ago, caught in UFO law, that says, like, hey, we're going to be there in 30 years. And that 30 years is nearly up.
Yeah. Well,
I've had some very weird Instagram reels this last week, right? About, it's always the same song by Muse, and there's usually a picture of an alien, and it's like got a caption like, oh, the alien looking at the human who's bleeding out, who gets up with a knife and stabs him in the eye, showing the indomitable human spirit.
Right.
And it's all about this indomitable human spirit in these weird ass situations.
Is this because you've been playing a lot of alien killing games?
But people on Reddit, because I thought, well, this is fucking weird. I'm going to go and search the internet and find out what the fuck this is about. The main theory on Reddit is a psyop. They're bracing us for the aliens.
Mate, they've literally been releasing videos. I've been screaming about this, haven't I? We all have.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives a fuck. Everyone's still talking about football and stuff.
Yeah.
There's been videos of fucking flying octopuses just mooching through air bases.
But this psyop now is like, we're going to have to fucking fight them. They're not going to be friendly.
No.
It's the indomitable human spirit that's going to get us through.
Sake.
And you could argue that Helldivers 2 is a fucking psyop. It's a cooperative game where you fight aliens for the good of humanity.
Well, I'm not playing.
Teaching us to fucking cooperate again,
Well,
isn't it?
I've been playing Spider-Man 2 all fucking... What's that teaching me?
If you get superpower... With great power comes great responsibility. Clearly, you're not getting the message of the game.
Some game psyops. I do know that people have been recruited based on, like, being extremely good at... What is it? COD.
Call of Duty.
Like... And they do use games. The army's got some game apparently that they use to train people.
Yeah,
they put fuckloads of money into. So I know that is a thing. But I don't think you're being recruited through Helldivers 2. Are you the people they want? This guy spent 36 hours in 3 days sat in the same position playing a video game.
No,
sign him up!
It's not looking at people like me. It's looking at the younger people who are being taught to cooperate again.
Basically, you're on about the film Ender's Game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have fucking... Fuck me, it's in the price of bread. I don't have to fucking worry about... Fuck me, car insurance has gone up. Oh, fucking hell, E.T.'s here now as well.
Here's a laser gun and a suit.
Laser cannon, you'll never see your mum again. Well, you all know what's going to happen the second I get my hands on the laser cannon. Private Vincent. But no, oh, for fuck's sake!
You see, you put that laser cannon in his mouth. Fucking hell.
What the fuck else do you want me to do? I apologise. I'll put a note in my pocket. Sorry to whoever has to clean me up. But yeah, no, I'm not fighting an alien force that might not even be real.
Well, that's the other thing, is it Project Bluebeam?
Killing myself fighting holograms. Oh, what's this in aid of?
Well...
Oh, one world government. Just do it quietly without the war. Fuck me.
Just sort out the price of bread and make the trains run on time.
Will the PlayStation still work? Yes, right, fine. Then do what you gotta do.
Oh, I doubt it, mate. It'd be like War of the Worlds, wouldn't it? It'd be like living in abandoned houses and the sewers and...
The sewers. Just no, I'll have found a way to die before then.
Scraping a fucking
God.
meals out of fucking rats and cockroaches and bits of slime on rocks.
Licking fucking moss off a tree. Nutrition.
Well,
And
pretty
then
slowly.
somebody caves my skull in to get to my moss.
Man, what a bleak.
Last thing I see is some skinny, toothless fuck like smashing me with a rock.
That's my moss, you could.
Well, you were pretty slowly down a radiation poisoning at the time.
Oh,
You know
you
that
didn't mention nukes. Why is there nukes?
they'd have
as
probably
well?
dropped the nukes, wouldn't they?
Oh God.
No, I don't think they would. I think they'd do what we do when they'd use poisonous gas or exterminate.
Well, why are they coming here to fight?
Virus.
What's their end game? What are they getting from killing us? That?
I don't know. The planet's quite all right, I suppose.
Well, there's got to be better ones.
Water.
There's no other planets out there with life that we know of.
Well, not nearby, but like fucking, you know.
They've all been stripped of life by these alien species, probably.
You're right though. The Earth is nothing special. What you can get from the Earth, you can get from anywhere else in the galaxy. You don't have to kill
So what's this
life
about?
forms in order to get
So is this
the
a war?
resources.
So is it a war to like take control of the music industry? I don't know. Taylor Swift apparently generates so much money that she's like in certain parts of America she's like regenerated the local economy because she's done a concert there.
Wow.
Literally generating like record levels of like, so that's some pact with the devil, isn't it? I don't know if the devil's involved in the aliens. I don't know how I got there, but anyway, I just don't want them to come for a war. Aren't they trying? I like the one where they're trying to stop us firing the nukes. I like that one. You know, because they've been spotted whenever we're doing test launches and they go wrong and stuff.
Really?
They? And yeah, like just the ones that
Well, they need to get off their ass a bit then, don't they?
protect us from ourselves. Well, I know things might seem to be heating up a little bit around the world, getting a bit. I know for the last, how long have we been doing the pod? Long time.
8 years.
8 years we've been joking about World War III and the apocalypse and it all seeming a bit end timesy, but I think this is actually the closest, it's the most World War III-ish.
It's getting worse
that
and
it's
worse,
been.
isn't it?
You know, things are popping off again. Well, they're always popping off in the Middle East, but like they seem to be. I mean, it's nuts. Closest to a civil war, I think they've been in America for a long time.
Yep.
Well,
They've now got white
let's see how
kids.
that election goes.
They've now got white kids in full Afghan dress, like
Yeah.
shouting
Cultural
from the river to
appropriation,
the
that is.
sea. It's mad what's happened in 20 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's, you know, what we
Fascism's rising around the world, so that's good.
we're just thinking our lifetime, like.
Is it?
Yeah.
You said, oh, that's good.
Oh,
Fascism's
being
rising. You said
sarcastic.
fascism's rising in the world. That's good.
Nothing wrong with a bit of traditional conservative values.
Yeah, but then I have to go to church.
No, you don't have to go to church.
I
Just
do.
Don't dye your hair purple and cut your cock off and chant for like the freedom of terrorist like organisations in the streets and like piss on your own flag. Like, don't do all that weird shit. All
I
that.
wasn't going to do all that stuff. It would cost too much effort than I'm willing to put in, to be honest.
That's what the modern liberal does. The young liberal. They basically might just walk around smashing themselves in the face like queers for Palestine. Chickens for KFC. Are you fucking mental?
Yes.
They might as well be walking around hitting themselves with a hammer.
They just save them the hassle and throw themselves off a building.
They're
to be
very
fair.
passionate. They're very, I think, misguided. But anyway, aliens. How the fuck did we get there? It started with aliens.
So, let's go to Prince Philip.
The man, the myth, The dead cunt.
Died at his 99.
God, them medals. Did he win any of them?
He did serve in World War Two.
Oh, good lad.
Did he?
Yeah. He was on a ship. He wasn't.
Was that before or after he went to the Nazi funerals?
He did that when he was younger.
Yeah,
He escaped to Britain at that point. Went into the Navy. Served on ships.
Before the war, wasn't it?
Look, we don't talk about the photographs of the young child queen doing the Nazi salute in the grounds of Buckingham Palace. We don't talk about those photographs.
Saxo Coburg Goethers.
Well, look, at that time, there were a lot of people thought Hitler was a good thing. He hadn't quite started, mechanising murder and all that at that point. Anyway, look.
No, but he did write a book about it. It was
He's a good bloke. Yeah, he's a good
It
bloke.
was pretty vocal.
Yeah, he's a good bloke. Look at all them medals, Mike. Look at all them British medals. Look at that big one in the middle. Whoa. What's that one, Ben? What's that big one in the middle?
It's probably some kind of knightly order.
Yes.
I'd imagine.
Yes.
Which is the one for him when he comes back as a virus and kills loads of people.
What?
They don't give you a medal for that when you're alive. You've got
That's what he said, wasn't it?
What did he say?
He said, "What do you want to be after you die or something like that?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I want to come back as a virus and cure the overpopulation of the world."
Well, I think that's a very unselfish. I don't think anyone else has ever answered that. Have
This
they?
was towards the end of his life. He may have been going a bit senile at that point. Let's face it.
I will become the virus.
I will become death.
Basically, is what he's saying. That's nice. Most people want to come back as a tree or
You've caught a bad
bird.
case of the Phillips. You're fucked. Anyway, forget the Nazi stuff. Look at all them medals. What a guy. Shag the Queen. Boom.
Okay. So he was fascinated with close encounters and was a regular subscriber of Flying Saucer Review, a quarterly magazine established in 1955.
I love that. Imagine being the postman.
Yeah, Flying Saucer Review.
Letters from dignitaries. One from the Danish Prime Minister. Flying saucers. Cat fancier.
Corgi fancier.
There's one, chocolate ladies of the night. And Philip's like, you didn't bloody see that, alright? I would never be caught dead masturbating over one of those. you know he would.
Oh, he is meant to have had an affair.
The bigger the front, the bigger the back.
Yeah.
Is all I'm saying.
Yep.
So anyway, so he's subscribing to UFO Monthly.
Yeah, he's getting the UFO Quarterly. He obviously talked to the men bad about it. And he'd given his former assistant, Sir Peter Horsley, a senior Royal Air Force commander who died in 2001 at age 80. So this is his personal assistant.
Yeah.
He'd given him carte blanche to collect stories about UFOs from the RAF.
Do you know what I love about this? Because you think it's like a trope of like comic books and things. You know, like Alfred the butler turns out to be ex-SAS and he can use a shotgun really well and all that. Like this bloke's fucking assistant, right? So the man who opens his letters, opens the car door for him, you know.
He's his valet,
make sure he gets to the meetings on time and all that. He's a fucking RAF commander.
Yeah, probably a war hero.
Do you know what I mean? He could fucking kill you with his bare. I love that shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's who your servant, your next man needs to be when you're
number 2 in it.
that high up.
Well, that's
like,
it. You know, if you
Someone
get
who could-
you get jumped by a gang of ruffians in the street.
Yeah, you want him cracking fucking
You want him,
skulls and necks.
well, yeah, you're the obviously there defending yourself with your sword.
Well, yeah.
Well, I think he's going to get accused by ruffians.
I was thinking
He
more
might
if somebody
do.
breaks
Walking
in
back
like.
from the dog and duck one.
Yeah. He could be walking anywhere, Mike. It's his fucking
More likely
country.
to be assassins, isn't it?
Well, either way, you want your dignitary, I mean, your personal assistant to be pretty handy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but he's not like getting into a fight over the football. Oi, you fucking slag! Eat some glass!
Pulls a sword.
You Millwall
Gives
horse!
him a Millwall. Gives him a Chelsea smile with the edge of the sword.
I'm from Buckingham, you Millwall bitch! Quick, servant, do it! Fight him for me! Awesome. But he's out there, he's told him, get me all the fucking stories.
Yeah, you're
Especially from RAF.
pilots who are seeing these things in the sky. There's plenty of UFO reports written by RAF pilots over the years.
It's logic, isn't it? If your job is to be, you're the closest than anybody else on the planet to where these things physically are, you're going to see more of them, aren't you?
Of course.
Your life's up there in the sky. But I love that he's like, I want all the bloody stories. I like that.
Now, Horsley wrote an autobiography in 1997 called Sounds from Another Room, describing his own fascinations with UFOs, which began when he was Philip's equerry or royal attendant from 1949 to 1956. Horsley, who wrote about a close encounter with an alien in London, this is mad, by the way. He had a close encounter with an alien in London in 1954. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
A bit more on Phil, what he liked to do. He would be asked to bring witnesses to Buckingham Palace for private discussions with the dukes and, "Seen a UFO? Get that man in here.
Yeah.
Don't find him, get him in here." In 2019, Philip read The Holt Perspective, written by retired US Air Force Colonel Charles Holt, who was the deputy commander at Brentwaters for the Rendlesham Forest incident.
No way.
He also apparently used to listen to Howard Hughes' Unexplained podcast.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And there's a notable British
Coast to
UFO
coast.
research writer called Timothy Good, who the story later on I've heard him recount. We'll get to it in a second. But he used to send Philip one of the first copies of whatever book he wrote.
Fair play. So he was hardcore. He was a full-on UFO nerd.
And you have to wonder what he knew, though, because he'd still have a better security clearance, wouldn't he? Among the books about extraterrestrials in Philip's collection was Haunted Skies, the Encyclopedia of British UFOs, and The Holt Perspective. I mean, that's quite a big one, Haunted Skies. That's quite a famous one.
I was going to say, I've either seen that book in a charity shop somewhere. I don't know why I've definitely seen that title before.
You know, the author, who was retired West Midlands detective John Hanson, said the Duke had a dozen of his works.
I wonder if he's still alive. We should interview him. We've never interviewed anyone, have we?
We haven't.
John Hanson, West Midlands.
Yeah.
I've got about 12 letters from the Duke's private secretary that say the Prince found the subject interesting, Hanson told the News. You know, apparently even Prince Charles is interested in it, and Prince William.
No.
Well, they must get all the juicy ones, though, mustn't they?
They must know more than us, surely.
Now, Horsley, this is the story I'm going to recount to you, claims that in 1954 he had an encounter with an alien called Mr. Janus who could read his mind. So he
was just mooching about London.
No, he gets an invitation from this Mr. Janus to meet him at this gentleman's club in London, and there's a private room set for them to have a chat.
Right.
Because this is what you do back in the day. Is if you're a gentleman, you went to a club where you hung out with other gentlemen.
Meet another gentleman.
Well, sit there and read the. Maybe that happened.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, they probably just sat there drinking wine, reading the paper, and by a fire, and having a chat about business. You know,
yes.
That kind of not a swinging club.
Right. Sorry. Mind out of the gutter. These are gentlemen.
But if you wanted to discuss a business matter, for example, you might have like a private office you could rent, or you could hire.
Or if you were a secret agent.
Or if you're a secret agent meeting a Russian secret agent.
And you wanted some privacy.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Oh, this will be quick, I promise. But I heard a story on No Such Thing as a Fish. I can't remember what country he's from, but the Russians set up this politician from another country by basically some undercover female agents, got drunk and had an orgy with him and filmed it.
Right.
They then got this politician in a room and played in the film as if to say, like,
yeah, we got you.
We got you. And do you know what his response was? Can I have some copies of that, please? He didn't give a fuck. He was like, this will look really good on me. Like, there's like 6 beautiful women in there. Look at me.
Yeah.
I would like to distribute this among my friends. Correct response.
Absolutely.
So, Mr. Janus, so they go to the club. I still think this is weird if I get a letter from, Dear, who is he? Dear Mr. Horsley.
Commander Horsley.
My name is Mr. Janus. Please ignore the fact that it's just anus with a J in front of it.
Yeah. Isn't Janus one of the Roman gods as well?
Meet me in a club.
What, January's named after him?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I think.
So basically these
two faces, isn't he?
So Horsley sat there talking to him, and Mr. Janus is replying telepathically.
Right.
To Horsley. Though he didn't say he was a visitor from another planet, I had that impression, he wrote. I believe he was here to observe us, I never saw him again. I have no qualms about the reaction to my experience with Mr. Janus. He added that Janus wished to meet Philip, whom he described as a man of great vision.
Wow. So he looked human.
Looked human, bloke in a dark suit, well-cut suit, but literally just communicates with him mind to mind.
Well, he's probably shape-shifted into human form, hasn't he, from his...
Well, yeah, presumably.
From his horrific
Well, that would
alien.
freak you out, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I'd leave. As soon as I worked it out.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're there like thinking, fucking hell, Phil will love this.
His mouth's not moving. Yeah, but why didn't you introduce... I suppose you can't just... Look, I got a random letter.
You can't just go, do you want to meet an alien?
Yeah.
To the most powerful man in the realm. Can you? You'd never get the security clearance. You'd never get him there on his own.
Do you think it's possible he'd been drugged?
Maybe.
Because Mr. Janus was intending to, jam something up his anus. But it didn't work out because he just kept talking about fucking Philip and the fucking aliens. Oh.
Well, I don't know. Wouldn't I say?
It's a cool story though, isn't it? It's pretty freaky as well though, if an alien can just take human form.
You can read your fucking mind.
Yeah.
So you can't... I mean, you're having a conversation with someone that can read your mind. You got to... don't think about them embarrassing things that I've done.
We're going to have that with that Neuralink soon, aren't we?
Now, the first one they tried in a human didn't work. The connections fell out.
Good. Because I don't want to sit there. I think talking works quite well.
I think talking's been good for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to sit there... Ooh. I mean, what life is that? And then if it breaks and it needs repairing or something, you go to talk out loud, and because you haven't for so long, you know them mongs in that. What did we watch with the threads?
Oh, the kids have forgotten to speak.
Gizzer! I'm in the fucking shop and I just Gizzer! Because my Neuralink's fucking down.
Well, normally, he'd be able to read your mind as you're coming into the shop. He'd already have it prepared for you.
Nobody knows what the fuck I've got old school. Yeah. And I'll end up just getting arrested because I'm dribbling, shouting, Gizzer! Oh, what a great future. I can't wait. Just fucking shoot me. I don't want it.
Still, I don't like the idea that Mr. Janus can just get quite a high up introduction like that and meet this chap. This guy's the personal assistant to the Duke of Edinburgh, and he's just meeting him in a club in London and saying all this alien stuff.
But he's in a respectable club, so he's got to be a respectable gentleman.
He's tried to do it. He's trying to do it like an old spy, isn't he? Like, look, I need you. You're a contact of him. Can you put me in touch with? But he hasn't. So I don't know. Maybe Mr. Janus just went straight to Phil. I don't know.
Maybe he did in the end.
Maybe he shape-shifted. Maybe that's what killed him off.
199.
Fuck me.
Fuck
me, that nurse just turned into a fella.
50 years later. It's all part of his elaborate plan.
Well, it's quite hard to get in the, I mean, he's just writing letters to people going, can you introduce me to Philip?
Well, maybe it took him 50 years to get back to the spaceship to tell his bosses that, I met with Mr. Horsley and I'm waiting on...
I don't think it's not looking good.
I suppose you've got a bit of a security risk, and this bloke's, for all we know, is an alien. You bring in Philip and he pulls out a fucking gun and a space gun and shoots him.
Well, he's already working out like who the people close to Philip are. I think I wouldn't know who the fuck to write to. But I just like the idea of Philip having his own little X-Files operation. He's gathering all the information from as many different sources as he can, every book that's written, because he wants to know.
Well, yeah.
Like we all do, because he was human, or was he?
Well,
so,
Here's a quick one here. There was a UFO caught on camera at King Charles's coronation.
What's that?
During the Red Arrows fly past, yes.
Well, fuck me.
Photographer said there have been a lot of unexplained sightings recently in the area, and he has no idea what the UAP could be.
Well, that's a security concern, isn't it? Fuck off. That's zoomed in, isn't it?
That's zoomed in, that's what we're looking at.
Okay, that looks like a heart-shaped balloon to me.
I think that is a balloon full of helium
Wouldn't a balloon full of helium have been blasted away by the...
It's further on the distance, you can tell.
I think that's a balloon. What do you think, Ben?
I think it's a UAP is what I think.
Well, obviously.
I think that given the size of the balloon... I don't know if... That looks like it's I don't think it's that much further away, because it's only a little balloon. It wouldn't be that big on the...
It's hard to tell with perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be over this way, it could be close to... fuck knows. But to me, that... Because I want to believe, and normally I'd be like, wow, but it was just kind of... I mean, it was a big... There would have been hundreds of people with balloons and things. You know, it looks like one where it's half empty and like...
But it does look like a heart-shaped balloon, I'll give you that. But I'm just saying, are the aliens... Do the aliens love a good British state event?
Well, it was very impressive. Did you see all them fucking horses?
Yeah.
I slept through it all, I'm afraid.
I saw the
I
highlights.
won't watch it.
Heathen.
I wasn't watching it all, but I saw the highlights.
I watched the whole funeral. I watched the coronation.
Oh, I got to where they
You're a
stuck
good
it.
patriot.
Yeah. Well, I found the coronation. To be fair, I was like, they've been doing this same silly bollocks for like a few thousand years or something, haven't they? Quite a long fucking... Last time they did it was a long time ago, wasn't it? And before it. I just thought... It was boring, I'm not going to lie, it was fucking boring. He has to put on a special coat, put on a special glove. The glove of Bathomir, or, you know, and then you must hold the...
It's like a D&D game.
Honestly, then there was like this, like, I can't think of it, like a long pole with a thing on the end. You got to hold this, and the knife of thingy, and the glove, all these special objects, the jewel of whatever, and I was like, this is all weird as fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting in regards of, like, you don't get to see an ancient ritual very often, do you? Like,
No, you don't.
I can't lie, it was fucking...
I didn't want to sit there through all the church stuff.
Oh, it was a slog, man. It was a slog. But I do admit, I did find it interesting. I was like, fuck me, I've been doing this silly bollocks for like...
2,000 years there.
Yeah, it's like a really long time. Yeah, but it was very boring. The funeral was more enjoyable.
Well, I watched to where they stuck her on the carriage and marched her through the street.
Christ.
I watched to that
Placed
bit.
it upon the carriage.
Sling her into the...
Jesus Christ, they didn't grab her by fucking heel and fucking toe. Like, one.
Leg and a
two,
wing grip.
Fucking no, they did not give her a leg and a wing. They didn't shit can her.
Just threw her on the back of a car.
She was lovingly, respectfully, gracefully placed.
Just throw her into the back of a van with a mattress on. I was going to say Philip can have one last go, but he really does.
Oh God.
Charles can
It wasn't like some cunt who slings a bag of puppies into a river. It's the fucking Queen of England.
When she was respectfully placed upon the gun carriage,
Yes.
and they all started doing the march.
Yes.
No, I turned it off at that point.
Oh.
Because I knew they were going to
Why, was it
church.
too respectful for you? I can't believe nobody fucking drop kicked that coffin.
Where's the Undertaker? He didn't burst out the coffin.
Oh God.
You know?
Look, as much as I love wrestling, The Undertaker had no place. Dong. The cathedral just goes down. Dong.
The Queen's placed out, and you see him elbow drop.
Rest in peace.
Does a tombstone there.
Dong. Disappears. Oh, now it's gone all red. That's gotta be Kane! That's gotta be Kane! It was the Queen's funeral then. There was no wrestling, there was no slinging of dead bodies. Glorious, stately affair.
Nothing like any funeral I've ever been to.
Made me proud to be British. The pomp, the circumstance, the wasted money. The peasants kept away with guns. Everything as it should be. Aliens apparently keeping watch.
There has been a documentary made about the royals' interest in UFOs.
Oh, is it out?
Yes, it came out in December last year, which I need to give it a watch.
Yes, you have to try and find that.
Nick Pope. Well, first of all, King Charles is being urged to apply pressure on US President Joe Biden to reveal the truth of UFOs.
Tell me about the fucking aliens.
I'm the king, damn it.
Look at the size of my fingers. Imagine them round your throat Now, I'd pay to see that King Charles versus Joe Biden octogenarian beatdown. My money's on Charles all the way. He's a man of action.
God.
He used to be in the military, flying helicopters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to pound him down.
He should do.
Yeah.
As long as the goat doesn't get
Size
in
of
the way.
them sausage fingers. I mean,
I know, one punch on the
I was
sausage.
going to say,
he's
Biden's face is
He's turning into dust.
But Biden does have that rubber mask on.
Yeah, that could, like... He's trying to get him in a headlock and his face is just stretching. You can get me. Or he bounces back and he's just punching his face. Bang, doing, bang. Anyway, I'd pay to see it. Money's on Charles.
Yeah. It's got to be, hasn't it? Nick Pope, a former employee of the UK's UFO desk, has revealed the many ways in which the British monarch can help the UK disclosure process commence as it did across the pond 3 months ago, as someone with direct access to the world leader.
Who's the world leader?
Well, I guess it's Biden, really.
Oh, yeah, I thought it just meant the general. Oh, we've got a world leader. Who is it? Cobra Commander?
It's Mr. Janus.
That'd be a good name for a band, wouldn't it?
Well, Mr. Janus?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
There's no solar war.
There is a Janus Stark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was, yeah. They were good, they were. They
That
were an album.
was the guitarist from Prodigy. Yeah,
His butt on it or something
something
like
like that.
Had a fallout with the singer of the Prodigy and went off and did his own band, didn't he?
Yeah. Fair play.
Didn't work, though.
Well, he's not dead.
No, that's also
The
true.
other one is. Oh, sorry, that's very disrespectful, but, you know, winning. Anyway, what's he saying?
In UFO expert Mark Christopher Lee's new film, The King of UFOs, Pope says, here is someone who could pick up the phone and say, look here, what's going on in the US? He could ask for a full classified briefing.
Yeah,
Doesn't mean he's going to get it, though, does it?
Yeah. Biden time to fuck off.
Yeah, you remember this little thing called 1776, Charles? We don't have to listen to you anymore, mate.
But I really want to know. Come on. I'll let you sleep with Camilla. Fuck off.
What about that
No,
clone of
Diana
Diana?
was-
What about that clone of Diana? He's got locked in a
I was
basement
gonna say,
somewhere.
if Diana was still alive, he might have a chance.
Yeah.
One evening with Diana, for all the alien knowledge you've got. Well, god damn! I'll take it! Because Ben, she was the queen of hearts. Wasn't she?
The queen of your penis, more like.
Say she was the queen.
She wasn't.
Say she was the people's princess. Go on.
Well, that was one of her titles.
Say that you love her and miss her and respect her.
I don't really love her and miss her or respect. I mean, I respect her to a point, obviously, but
Heathen.
I don't really miss her. I mean, I never met her.
Continue with your heathen reading.
She's the only decent one amongst them all.
And look what they did.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Allegedly.
No, they did. It wasn't just a case of a guy being pissed and driving too fast.
Well, it could be exactly what it was.
No.
Never found that car, did they?
It was
Yeah,
a
they did.
massive ritual.
Did they?
Yeah, that Fiat Uno. Yeah,
The
they did.
13th pillar! Or was it the 18th? I don't know, but it was a pillar with a number. It was a ritual.
He's saying it was some kind of Crowleyan ritual, like 9/11.
It was, yes.
Didn't they find a burnt out car that they said was that car?
I'm sure they found that white Fiat Uno.
And they fucked about and didn't take her straight to the thingy they could have saved her.
That's
didn't
French. How the French do it.
Did a hysterectomy?
they? Yeah, maybe she live and maybe she die.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill the baby.
That was a bit weird. I'll give you that one. Still, it's a lot of effort to kill someone that way when they could have just done it simpler.
Gotta make it look like an accident, haven't you?
Brain the paparazzi.
Oh, those goddamn paps.
Bane of my existence.
Now, the documentary states that Charles can request ministers for the UK Parliament to compile a report if there is ever any unexplained activity in UK airspace, as it would be a potential defence and safety issue. The Royal could also gather parliamentary questions, much like the US initiated discourse, and gather enough momentum to force the defence minister to hold a hearing. Interesting.
That's pretty cool, though, isn't it? If, to be fair, if you're King Charles, you can just go, I want to know.
Yeah.
I want everything you've got on all the weird shit in the sky.
Rishi, get me the UFO reports.
And they've got to give it you. Well, that's an interesting afternoon's reading, isn't it? It's got to
Yeah.
be better than the normal shit you're presented with. You know what I mean? I bet there's a lot of boring crap he has to do.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That does his editing. So I bet it's fun getting all the fucking alien reports. Oh, my uncle was mad for this shit.
And me dad.
Yeah, and me dad.
Lee believes, the guy who did the film, that part of the UK's government fears about investigating the phenomena is the demonic element to UFO sightings. There is a bit of a lunatic fringe in the UFO community that thinks aliens are demons.
Well, Tucker Carlson thinks they're angels.
Well, same thing then, I guess.
He thinks they're spiritual, religious somehow, and they're from here. But anyway, well, oh shit, I've lost my train of thought. Fell into a weed hole.
Well, the filmmaker recently made the hit Tubi film God vs. Aliens, an exploration of the spiritual implications that First Contact would have. God vs. Aliens, now there's a fight I'd watch.
Yes. That sounds like the best action film.
I know, it's a bit one-sided, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know, we don't know how powerful these aliens are.
That's true, what if they've got alien
They could
gods?
be the gods of their own
Maybe.
universe. But, yeah.
If it was gods versus alien gods...
Because I know what you're saying, if it's just like E.T. versus God, and he could just like reform you into a cabbage.
Yeah.
I win. Again.
Cabbage
Gods
waving
versus
it.
aliens, 65.
65-0 to me.
You got to recruit Satan, haven't you? That's your only chance.
Yeah.
And even then, you're still going to probably lose.
I don't know.
Well, he's not going to backstab you, is he? He's Satan, that's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
Can't trust Satan, can you? I mean, I love him, friend of the show, but don't trust him and don't lend him 20 quid.
No, it'd be like in one of them in WWE when they have a three-way and there's two of them are like, we'll team up against him, and like they do for a bit, and inevitably one of them's always like, fuck you.
Exactly.
Sneaks in on the other one, so I don't know. But Prince Charles is an alien freak. What's his project?
Well, this is what I'm going to get on to now. Former Canadian diver Dan Costello was interviewed in the film and claims he worked with then Prince Charles on Project Serpico or Project Serpo. We did an episode on that.
We did.
Right.
In Nova Scotia, Canada in 1975. It was a top secret mission which saw 12 US astronauts travel to the Zeta Reticuli star system to visit an alien race known as the Ebens.
Well, that's been underreported.
We did an episode on
We
it.
did, yeah.
I can't
Project
remember.
Serpo back
One
in
of
the
the
day.
easy ones, yeah.
I'll have to re-listen.
Costello alleges he saw Charles pilot an experimental craft that resembled a UFO and was powered by a form of electromagnetism which had a harmful effect on those in close proximity to it.
Maybe that's why he's got cancer at the moment.
Could be UFO cancer.
Well, see, the thing is, I could buy this because he was a pilot, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Now, I remembered what I was going to say earlier. It actually relates to this slightly, is that I think the reason why he might be so obsessed with like Rendlesham and it's military men, it's UFO, it's like RAF people, military people. He's got respect for that, hasn't he? It's not like some mad Doris in the middle of nowhere. I saw 3 bright lights come from the sky.
Oh, well, she's not coming to Buckingham
Do you know what
Palace
I
to
mean?
account her story, is
No,
she?
but fucking some, captain in the fucking whatever, I don't know me rank, sorry. He's going to be more into that. If he knows that this project's out there and they're testing these UFOs and he's like, whoa, I'm a prince.
Let me
I
fly
can fly
that shit. Yeah.
Come on.
We had this on Weird News a while back, actually. This came out that Charles had been rescued a bunch of, was it divers or fucking oil miners or oil drillers or something off of somewhere that was going to explode anyway. And he flew this experimental UFO craft and picked them up and saved them.
I can see it.
Well, you would see you turning into Cliff Richard.
No, I'm not Cliff Richard.
Turning into
They
slowly.
didn't find anything.
I'm not saying anything about Cliff Richard's sexual life.
I'm
saying
saying
about his God and conservatism.
Well, why is he the only one you think of? There's
No,
plenty
he
of
is.
other ones who, appreciate the king. I watched a documentary about him, Ben, when he was young, and I seen him in the sea with his top off, and he was all muscly, and he was flying helicopters and shit, and I was like, fucking hell. He's fucking action, man.
Well, he was a Playboy Prince, wasn't he?
Yeah, so I got more respect for him than some poncy fucking politician in a suit from Marks and Spencer's who's never done fuck all but spend public money. Charles, fucking flying things. things that could crash and kill people.
Flying UFOs.
Expensive things. He's a man of action. He can pilot a canoe down a rough river. He could probably build a shelter.
He might be able to.
He's like SAS level bad boy.
I don't know about that.
Come
SAS
on.
level.
Yes, he is. He's the best of the best.
We didn't send him to the Falklands, though, did we?
He's done all the training
You
just for
didn't do
fun.
Black Ops missions
Yes,
behind
how
out
did you-
snapping people's
You
necks.
wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Send in the prince.
Yes! You've just come up with the best action film ever. He makes James Bond look like a fucking pair of piss-wet panties.
Charles the in-between years, kind of just going around like snapping
Young
necks in
Charles.
casinos.
Yes, mate. Fucking murdering dictators and taking out their entire private security force from the inside out.
Standing
each
up in the
hand.
back of a jeep firing an AK.
Yeah, and then he can fucking pilot his own helicopter out of there.
He's got a UFO to pilot.
Well, yeah.
Let's make it.
It writes itself.
I bet if we wrote to the palace and said we wrote the script,
Do we get your blessing?
can we get your blessing? I bet they'd say yes.
So it turns out Charles is the greatest action hero in the history of action heroes and the hardest man that ever lived. Sold.
Chuck Windsor. I'll be his code name.
Just call me Chuck. And before he kills somebody, on your knees, son. Oh, he's just going to be a badass. I can see it anyway. He'd be that good at flying his helicopter. The bad guys on the roof shooting at him, he'd be able to get close with the blades and tilt and like smash them to pink mist with the blades. He's that good. Whilst winching up innocents from the bottom and firing out the other window with a machine gun.
What a guy.
I believe it. That's my king.
Well,
Just let me believe what I want to believe.
you know what? You believe what you want to believe.
Thank
you go
you.
for it.
Thank you.
I look forward to the film.
It helps it easier for me to, bow down and worship and all that.
Lick that boot.
Yeah. If I can imagine him being like Arnie on steroids. Or more steroids.
Does he have to save Princess Diana at any point?
He's got to have his own little catchphrases and stuff. We'll think of them.
Yeah, we'll get to
You
that.
know, God love him.
Well, let's move on to the other possibility. Brought to you by St. David Icke,
Again, on your knees.
Patron of the show.
one of the patron saints of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Says the royal family are shape-shifting lizards. It's a long-established theory.
Check our episode 100, I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it was. That was the reptilian conspiracy.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about royal family being lizards from the very beginning, though, weren't we?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the. It's like Ladybird book of a conspiracy theory, isn't it? Now at this point,
Of course it is.
but at the time, it was quite a revolutionary idea.
Well,
When-
yes.
When
I
he
mean,
first started saying it, people went, "What?"
Yeah.
have you seen the
Kind of
Wogan?
got ostracised, didn't he?
Well, it didn't help his broadcast career, did it?
No.
1 minute he commentated on League 3 football, Scottish 3rd Division football somewhere, or a bit of BBC Radio Stoke,
Yeah.
and then the next, oh fuck,
You're the son of the
Oblivion.
you're the son of the Godhead, and the royal
Yeah.
family are lizards.
oh god,
Yeah.
Hey.
It was a Terry Wogan interview, wasn't
yeah,
it?
well that destroyed him, but we can laugh now. But the fucker started selling books and selling out arenas.
Yep.
He has with his 3-hour lectures, 6-hour lectures,
I
Ten
don't think he's shy of money.
10-hour lectures, mate.
10-hour lectures.
I've seen the videos on YouTube.
there's
I've sat through it.
I used to be mad for it, but I don't think he's short of a bob or two these
No.
days. And so he was laughing now.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I did think he had a bit of a mental breakdown, didn't he?
I think, yeah,
Oh god,
if he
yeah.
was to be honest, I think he kind of does, but he tries to fucking frame it in that it was a vision from the fucking...
Spiritual awakening.
Yeah, but no, I think you had a bit of a midlife crisis.
It's
mental
difficult when
breakdown.
you do realise that the world is run by cunts that are trying to put you down, and all they care about is money and themselves. And
Well, I can remember the feeling of it blowing my mind when the simple fact of finding out when someone was like, well, yeah, nothing generates money like war, and I was
Yeah.
like, what? What do you mean? Oh, war makes money. I'd literally never conceived of that
No.
thought before. I was like, what do you mean? Oh yeah, people get massively rich off it. And that simple fact, I was like, oh, that literally fucking changes everything.
Yeah, it
like
does,
your
yeah.
entire perception of everything,
Yeah.
you know. Oh, so it's not like, we got to go and get these nasty fuckers because it's the right thing to do. It's like, no, there's political, monetary...
No, we want to buy lots of new weapons, so we need to use all the old ones we've got
There's
first.
people pushing for the war
Yeah, so...
just to make money out of it.
So I can see how, you know, yeah, like you say, putting all that together and connecting the dots and going, fuck, that might fuck your head up. Especially when you're like a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You're always a bit mad as a goalkeeper.
Well, that's the thing. Doesn't his career get sort of... He wasn't really a footballer for very long, was
He
he?
had arthritis, didn't
And
he?
he was like in the reserves, I think. Like, but anyway, he's close, more of a professional footballer than I've ever been.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. Well, his long-standing theory is as a species of lizard humanoids who can shape-shift between the two, humans and lizards, shape-shifting. Go on YouTube, put in shape-shifting lizards, you'll see it all.
Yeah.
It can be explained by shadows, or can it? There you go. Who knows?
I don't think they're going to be silly enough to change form in front of us.
No.
Because like we did discuss on the episode, I can't remember if it was a David Icke episode but we discussed when they shapeshift. Is it like a simple, like a hologram going, bloop, or is it like a horror movie where there's like sinew stretching and bones snapping and like bubbling and horrible smell? Do you know what I mean? Like a literal one form morphing into. Is it a horrible thing with like steam coming off it and like, you know what I'm saying? Or is it like
a hologram, basically?
or is it just like a like on Star Trek or something? Because I think if it's like a horror movie, like, you know, like when the guy turns into the werewolf in...
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
That type of thing with the stretching, crunching stuff. Like.
No, it isn't that, apparently.
But if it's like that, though, they ain't going to do it in front of
No.
people.
No. I think it's just
And
like a
it'll use
little...
up a lot of energy.
It's like a little... You know, it's like a hologram suit,
Yeah.
It's
basically.
tech that I can't
Yeah.
imagine. Yeah.
That's what he says.
Well, that's an
I
easy
mean,
way out.
But we're not just talking the royal family, it's everybody. Every US president bar a couple. Royal families across Europe. Adele.
The sacred bloodlines, aren't there? There's something like 12 families or something, he
Yeah.
says, I think.
The Blue Bloods, we even got a name for it, haven't we?
So,
The anointed ones.
but then again, if they are lizards, why are they looking into UFOs?
Well, maybe they're cut off, like I said, maybe they're cut off from their motherland, world.
Yeah, because they're not true reptilians, are they?
They've
They're
been left behind.
diluted over.
Yeah, they've been half-breeds.
Yeah.
They want to know the truth. Maybe they want to reconnect. Get us the fuck out of these humans are mental. And they're on to us.
Yeah.
There's about 12,000 podcasts. The people trying to work out if we're fucking aliens or not.
Is it 4% of Americans think that their leaders are reptilians? Which doesn't sound a lot, but it's still 12 million people.
Well, what's your evidence that they are not?
Well, I don't have any, but I haven't also got any that they are.
So you have to keep an open mind, don't you?
Well, this is true. It is true.
They don't seem very human, do they?
Probably just they're billionaires who've never done anything at all to work for that in their life, and
I'm trying to start...
some man wipes his arse and dresses him every day. He's as far removed from as ordinary persons. He could be, he might as well be an alien.
That's true. But I'm trying to start a new trend, guys, where you pronounce human.
Like Ike does.
Like Captain Kirk does at the end of Star Trek 2 when Spock's dead. And he's like, of all the souls I knew, his was the most human. No idea why, because he's just a weird actor. So, humans. Did David Icke say it like that?
He does,
Well?
I think, yeah.
David Icke, Captain Kirk, come on.
David Icke thinks a lot of films are real, though, too, doesn't he?
Well, I'd have had that accusation thrown at him that he basically just watches films, takes the plot line and goes, oh, that's what's happening.
The Matrix, for one.
They live.
I'm literally holding in my hand.
What was the quote we had in the Children of the Matrix you found earlier? Literally open the book at random.
Yes, so this is the tomb. We've gone back to it many times over the years. Tome, sorry, from David Icke. It's called Children of the Matrix. And here's the subtitle of the book, so technically the full title of the fucking book is Children of the Matrix, the most comprehensive explanation ever written of the reptilian manipulation of human society by the man who brought it to public attention.
Wow.
Did he bring it to public attention? Is he the first?
I think he's the first one to
Publicly say it.
publicly admit it.
Yeah.
He got it from Credo Mutwa, didn't he?
Yeah, like some of the shape-shifted stuff. There's a lot of those African tribes.
He's a South African shaman, wasn't he?
So it was a bit
Who
freaky.
we met down the pub.
No, he went to go and visit him, I think.
It was quite funny.
In the
earlier.
pub.
No, no, in a hut. In a mud hut.
I bet there's
He's
a
a
pub.
shaman.
There's a pub in the town. There's a pub everywhere.
I've seen the video of it and I've seen his interview with him, but it's like, you can't just believe everything what everyone's going to tell you, you know what I mean?
Well, he's just reporting what he's heard.
But then he says it's fact.
Well, you know.
That's what I've got with him. Okay, go on. That's the only
So,
issue I've got with him.
Before we started recording, we were joking about David Icke, and I said, this book's brilliant. I said, whatever page you turn it to, it'll be fucking mental. And I just opened it at random, and it's fucking mad. The last paragraph on the page I opened it to is called, the headline is Shape-Shifting Queens. And that's what we were talking about in the show, so that's a bit... Oh, coincidence or
He does
Matrix.
mean like the royal family and not.
I'm not sure because I didn't read it.
It's not a sexual slur, is it?
Well, you're going to enjoy this. No, it's not a slur on gay people. Mike. Come on. It's Saint Ike, doesn't... He's a pretty liberal dude.
No, he just hates the Jews.
Didn't he used to be in an open marriage or something? He used to have...
He used to be a throuple, yeah.
He had
He
like
used to have a throuple.
a couple of wives at one point. So he's a cool dude. So,
Apart from his anti-Semitism.
now, I've got no idea who Arizona Wilder is, what her qualifications are, why I should care what she says, but this is how the paragraph
He
starts.
sounds like a prostitute. Arizona Wilder. Or a porn star.
Now, hang on. Arizona Wilder told me how she had conducted sacrificial rituals involving the British royal family, Tony Blair, and famous American Illuminati names like George Bush, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Henry Kissinger, and many others. The highest operative she knew in the Illuminati, she said, was a guy calling himself the Marquis de Lebeau. The Marquis de... some French thing. Apparently that translates to of the water.
Ooh.
His code name was Pindar, which she say means penis of the dragon.
That's a better one.
Arizona told me how the Queen and Queen Mother regularly sacrificed babies and adults at many ritual centres, including Balmoral Castle in Scotland, where they were all staying at the time Diana was ritually murdered in Paris. The royal family involved in human sacrifice was fantastic enough, but here again came the constantly repeated theme. She described how during the rituals these people shapeshift into reptiles. Diane Gould, head of the US organisation Mothers Against Ritual Abuse, also confirms this theme in a telephone conversation about ritual abuse.
That must have been such a happy conversation on the phone.
Diane asked me if I could explain why many of her clients reported that participants in their rituals had turned into reptiles. People might want to dismiss all this, but they should know that while they close their eyes and their minds, children are being sacrificed all over the world this very day by the reptilian bloodlines, many thousands of them on the main ritual dates. Arizona talked about some of her experiences with the Queen and the Queen Mother. There's one little quote here from Arizona and we'll finish. So, this is all, gospel as far as I'm concerned.
It's in the Bible.
Well, it's my Bible, mate. The Queen Mother was cold, a nasty person. None of her cohorts ever trusted her. They have named an altar mind control program after her. They call it the Black Queen. I have seen her sacrifice people. I remember her pushing a knife into someone's rectum the night that 2 boys were sacrificed. One was 13 and the other 18. You need to forget that the Queen Mother appears to be a frail old woman. When she shapeshifts into a reptilian, she becomes very tall and strong. Some of them are so strong they can rip out a heart, and they all grow by several feet when they shapeshift. This is what the lady said who saw Edward Heath among endless others.
Oh, not Edward Heath.
He's meant to be a paedophile, wasn't he?
So there you go. I mean, I could go on, but I think we've had enough. Well, Arizona, whoever the fuck she is.
I find it hard to believe that the royal family is going to employ someone called Arizona.
Well, no, I don't think they meant she employed by them. I think
Well, why is she at Balmoral then?
I think she's just at these rituals. She's a whistleblower.
Well, why have they invited her?
Well, that's the bit of the story you've got questions about, not the Queen Mother sticking a fucking knife up some fucking little boy's arsehole.
Well, I'm questioning the validity of her eyewitness statement.
So the point is, right, if all this
She could
is
have been
true...
a high-class hooker that was taken to one of these by a duke or something, you don't know, do you?
So if this is true...
Called Arizona? Sounds like she's done meth all her life.
Maybe he likes her a bit rough.
Maybe she has, and now she finds herself in a pub with David Icke. You know, look, so if they are aliens, reptilian aliens, that would track that they'd maybe have an interest in what's going on in the world of aliens, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And it all makes sense to me. I think we've solved it.
Well, if Arizona Williams is to be believed, she's not just someone David Icke met in a bar in America somewhere.
In a swingers club.
In a swingers club, strip club, you know.
Tell me, baby, have you ever been fingered by a bloke with fucking claws?
Well, alright. So...
Do you think Prince Philip was running his own little mini X-Files operation?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
I think they all like it. I think it's obviously an interest that's been passed down.
This could be a case for Mulder and Scully. I do think it tracks. They're RAF men, they're pilots, aren't they? And it's other RAF people usually doing these stories, so they're gonna be like, what? I think
Yeah,
they're
they would
gonna
have
give
heard
it
the
more
stories
weight.
when they were in the RAF,
Passed
Or
around.
Navy for
for
the royal family. They always join the Navy usually.
But still, like, you know what it's like. If it's a fellow military person telling you this story, you're instantly going to give it a bit more like...
He's more likely to believe it, isn't
Yeah.
he? Because he's like, well, that bloke's been trained by us.
It's literally what Joe Rogan says about, like, these pilots from today who film the Tic Tacs and stuff. He's like, they're not just some fucking nut job, like, from that's why I have them on the show. It's like a fucking trained RAF fucking pilot, like, saying, this is what I saw.
You're flying...
Clearly an intelligent, professional man.
You're flying a 50-60 million pound
Yeah.
piece of hardware
You're not
off
a dickhead.
off an aircraft carrier and landing it again. You're an incredibly intelligent, qualified person.
Yeah, and you've got this fantastic story. So you're gonna. I think this all tracks, to be honest. Maybe not the reptilian shape-shifting knives up the anus stuff.
No, maybe not. I just felt we couldn't really talk about the royal family and aliens. Don't mention they might be aliens.
No, because
themselves.
there's a conflict of interest, isn't there? Like, if you're a shape-shifting reptilian, like, you know. Yeah, I guess you are going to want to know, like, how much do they bloody know? Who's seen what?
That's true.
Are these RAF guys being flushed down a chute after they tell the story?
Well, this is where all the bodies go.
Do you know what I mean?
People
To the
notice-
lions?
To the lions.
Well, I bet they've got some at the palace somewhere for a laugh.
If they didn't, I'd be very disappointed. Like, that there's a lion pit. You just press the button on your desk.
You know what I mean? Though, if they're trying to find out how much we know, if they're lizards,
know
maybe
there's
you go in, you tell him your story, he
there's
writes
a
it all
furnace
down.
in the basement.
Yeah.
Go to the bones of children.
Your body goes
Could
straight
be.
to it.
Look
Could
at
you
that
just,
host dealer around.
Could you stand on that, you see that sort of silver square over there in the corner? Yeah, that's it. A little bit further. Excellent. Thanks for coming. Beep.
Just into the furnace.
Yeah. Right, if there's any more fuckers see anything, learn anything, send them to me. That's just one option. Or he's genuinely curious because he wants to know, where did we come from? How did we get back to our reptile planet? It's got to be better than this shit. Come on. Have you seen the state of me kids? They're fucking idiots. I want to get back. I want to know everything. So yeah, that's my take on it. God, I didn't know the Queen Mother was that handy with a knife, but...
I just can't picture the Queen Mother turning into a 7-foot tall reptilian and stabbing someone in the ass with a knife.
Oh, I can. I can picture her doing it before she shapeshifts. Nasty bastard.
She was a sweet old lady.
Can you not picture her taking a run up with a machete at some
was
poor
pissed all the
prone
time.
prisoner?
Look, you never know. You got to be on the fence to a certain extent.
They could do this sort of thing for sport and fun.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a whistleblower coming out, you know, might be telling the truth, for fuck's sake, you don't know.
No, Arizona Wilder, and you've all been a bit judgmental just because her name's Arizona. She might be a lawyer for all you know.
Well, I'd like some context to her.
Shall I Google her? What was it? Is it definitely
Arizona Wild.
Arizona Wilder? Oh, let's
I
see
just
what
wanted some
comes up.
context on them. Arizona Wilder said. You're like, well, who the fuck's Arizona Wilder?
Well, I don't know if he mentions her in a previous chapter. I can't remember. There's a lot of information in that book.
Quote information in that book.
Fuck you. It's information. Arizona Wilder. Let's see who comes up.
Well, I agree it's information. It just depends on how true it is. What kind of information it is.
Who is she?
So with some fine investigative research we've just done in the last couple of minutes, Arizona Wilder is...
a self-proclaimed reptilian mother goddess and cult leader.
Well, she seems perfectly trustworthy.
So that
according to Trash City magazine.
Well, that tells you why she was at Balmoral while the Queen Mother was sticking a knife at somebody's bottom.
Because she's a reptilian mother goddess.
Yes.
Well, stranger things have happened, haven't they?
She's one of them, and she's decided to tell the truth to David.
Well, someone's got to be the whistleblower, I guess, haven't they?
And you can all read about it in his incredible tome, Children of the Matrix, the most comprehensive explanation ever written of the reptilian manipulation of human society by the man who brought it to public attention, which I believe you can only actually buy from his website.
Yeah, you can nowadays. He's
Or
purely
eBay.
Self-published.
eBay. They're actually quite expensive on eBay, to be honest. Most of his books are fairly pricey, to be honest. They're massive as well, that's the thing.
Oh, yeah, it's 500 pages a pop, aren't they?
Jesus, how many... Yeah, easily. It's a big old fucking thing. It's fun, though. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good fun. So
let's take David Icke out the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's assume that they're humans.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a good thing they're poking their noses in,
yeah, I mean...
Are they going to tell us? Sorry, well, them know. I mean, I want to know.
Well, if they help bring about disclosure, then yeah. If old Sausage Fingers can, have some influence.
Yeah.
Do you think he can strong-arm Joe Biden, the President of the United States, into saying...
I think a fucking paraplegic squirrel could strong-arm Joe Biden.
No, he's got no sway over Biden. It'd have to be what we've got.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, well...
Should we call it a day?
Let's call it a day.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Thank you very much for listening. I've been Ben. Don't do the favourite. Don't join a cult. Look out for reptilian blue goddess cult leaders.
Especially ones with names.
Yes.
Oh, we might actually listen to Peace Out with the force be with you.
Alright, guys, free bit tannin. Bye.